Mina. And now the news in details. Governor State of Osun, Mr. Adeboyega Oyetola, said to undertake a thank you tour of the 9 federal constituencies of the state. The tour is an appreciation of the overwhelming support given to him by party members across the 332 wards of the state during the February 19 primary election of his party, the All Progressives Congress (APC). The first port of call of the tour, which is expected to hold at the 9 federal constituencies headquarters of the state, is Ikire and Ife federal constituencies. Ede and Iwo federal constituencies come next, while Ila and Ikire federal constituencies follow on the third day. Governor Oyetola's train will be in Ijesha North and the Ijesha South federal constituency on the fourth day. He is expected to round off the visit on the fifth day of his tour in Osogbo Federal Constituency. It will be recalled that Governor Adeboyega Oyetola became the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress (APC) when he polled 222,169 votes, about 86% of the total accredited voters during the APC governorship primary in February 19. The All Progressives Congress (APC) in the state of Osun has told the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) to expect a smashing debate in the July 16 gubernatorial election in the state. Party's Director of Publicity, Research and Strategy, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, made this known in a statement in Osogbo, the state capital, adding that none of the factional candidates of the opposition party can serve as a threat to the re-election of Governor Adeboyega. It's been a progressive reference in the country, adding that the people of Osun are not ready to allow a reversal. According to him, the entire citizens of Osun have seen the difference when comparing the PDP days with development-driven administration of Governor Oyetola in the state. The APC Publicity Director stated that Osun APC has the best product to sell to the good people of the state, stressing that Oyetola as APC candidate will win the July 16 gubernatorial election freely, fairly and squarely based on its verifiable and progressive achievements. The victory of Governor Adeboyega Oyetola at the All Progressives Congress APC governorship primary election in Osun State has been described as well-deserved in view of his joint strides in the state. Coordinator Ilerioluwa Youth in Oloruda local government area of the state, Mr. Adeleke Ajibola, gave the commendation in Osogbo while exchanging views with the OSBC News. Mr. Adeleke praised the developmental drive of Governor Oyetola in the last 3.5 years of his administration, saying it is unprecedented. Formerly coordinator Ilerioluwa, one-time bid of Governor Oyetola will come into reality come July. He particularly commended the efforts of Governor Oyetola on regular payment of salaries and allowances, stressing that such payment has enhanced the state economy in no small measure.
Yes, confirm. Because it's a good governance. When we are talking about the good governance in the state, this is a good governance. Even, it's not only this state, of this country, the governor that's paying the salary for the workers as at when due, is worth to embark, to come in again. There is a lot of projects that were done by the governor. Look at the what's called it, and that's flyover. The project road, and so another financial support for those people that want to establish on their own. That's another thing the government is doing.
Mr. Adeleke Ajibola speaking there. Women have been asked to work together to put an end to sexual harassment, domestic violence, child abuse, child labor, underage marriage, child trafficking, female genital mutilation, drug abuse, and cultism, among others. This formed the submission of participants at the celebration of this year's International Women's Day, organized by the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC Women Committee, held at the GRA Osogbo, Osun State Capital. In a lecture, the Secretary, Democratic Socialist Movement in the state, Comrade Kola Ibrahim, said, women must put their trust in the collective wing of the labor movement to build the union so as to make it accountable for its actions. In her address, the chairperson state chapter of NLC Women Committee, Mrs. Modupeola Oyedele, pointed out that human right is women right, adding that women are not in competition with menfolk, saying that it is pertinent that their voice be heard.
The women in this country are so wonderful. They are developing process of they are what we can describe as work in progress mechanism.
Today is International Women's Day, and from everything we heard, from everything we see today, everything we saw, you will know that there's need to celebrate women.
Also, in an interview, Chairman Trade Union Congress TUC Comrade Adekola Adebowale and the State Chairman Ajwa Civil Service Union Comrade Christopher Arapasopo described the event as a day to celebrate and to show the importance of women to the society. Christians have been admonished to adopt Christ-like attitude and virtues that would ensure reward of everlasting life with Christ. Venerable Amos Faremi gave the admonition in Ile-Ife during a Thanksgiving service held for Pastors Oyiniro Omolaoye. The report is presented by Sonia Onoride.
Family and friends of Pastors Oyiniro Omolaoye converged on St. James's Anglican Church, Ile, in Hollanda, South Local Council Development Area of the state of Osun, to bid farewell to the patriarch who departed beyond the ripe age of 93. In his exhortation, Venerable Amos Faremi described the deceased as a devout Christian who dedicated his life in serving humanity, a generous giver, as well as committed to the development of his community. Venerable Faremi noted that death is inevitable, and it is therefore imperative for Christians to demonstrate Christ-like attitude in ensuring eternal rest with Christ. The service featured Thanksgiving session, which afforded family, friends, and well-wishers to appreciate God for the life well spent. Guests were later entertained at the St. James's Anglican Primary School playground, Ile, with assorted dishes and drinks. Pastors Oyiniro Omolaoye is survived by children and grandchildren, among whom is Mr. Sunday Omolaoye of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ile-Awiye, Okebale, Osogbo. Sonia Onoride reporting for OSBC News.
Election of new officers of the executive positions of the Radio, Television, Theatre and Art Workers Union Ratawu OSBC chapter holds tomorrow morning at the open-air studio of the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, OSBC. A release jointly signed by the chairman and secretary of the electoral committee of the union, Comrades Babatunde Saka and Faride Felicia, indicates that the corporation director general, Mr. Rashid Folarami, will be the chief host, while the director of administration, Mr. Ibiwale Alao, will be the special guest of honor. Members are enjoined to be part of the electioneering process. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Ile-Awiye, Okebale, Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now a mid-news message. If you cannot be a pencil to write someone's happiness, then try to be a nice eraser to remove their sadness. Business News this week focuses on the economic and nutritional value of granite or peanut cake, popularly known as kulikuli. Opeyemi Adedeji is a guide.
Granite cake, which is popularly known as kulikuli, refers to a West African snack that is primarily made from granite. Kulikuli is of two types. The two are either sweet or savory. The sweet ones are made with sugar, while the savory ones are made with salt. Kulikuli is so widespread in Africa that there is no accurate record about where it originated from. Findings show that it was first made by the Nupe people of north-central Nigeria. This is clearly shown in their pedigree.
The Nupe people are known for kulikuli business. Well, known in some parlance as a peanut business. It used to be, and it is still their traditional business, and that's why in Yoruba language they are known as Omatapa Lengpe Ajeje Omafaro Bashe Kulikulimu. That is, Tapa in Nupe land, whose source of economy is kulikuli business.
Kulikuli is a popular cake in Nigeria, Benin Republic, Northern Cameroon, and Ghana. Reports shows that kulikuli has a lot of nutritional values like protein, magnesium, and vitamins, which help the body to fight diseases. It also contains antioxidants, which fights cancer. Kulikuli has a lot of benefits. Nutritionalists says it protects the heart, strengthens the bones, and prevents birth defects.
Kulikuli has a lot of benefits too. Even it protects the heart, it strengthens the bones, and it prevents birth defects.
Scientific facts reveal that kulikuli is a rich source of protein and contains healthy fats. On the economic plane, kulikuli production is a source of income for peddlers. The business is lucrative as not only kuli is produced, but the marketable granules oil is derivable from its production as well. A kulikuli seller, Mrs. Ibrahim, attested to this. She, however, said that gains on kulikuli as at now has decreased due to hike in fuel price. She stressed further by saying oil derived from kulikuli is nutritious in comparison to the usual turkey or vegetable oil. Apart from the fact that kulikuli is tasty and addicting, it reminds people of the past. It is also well loved because of its natural nutrients. Kulikuli can be eaten as a snack with pap, custard, gari, among others. Join us next week for another edition of Business News. Okwayemi Adedeji reporting for OSBC News.
The ruling All Progressives Congress APC has formally announced a new zoning formula for various National Working Committee NWC offices ahead of its March 26th National Convention. In the formula released today in Abuja, the party is on the office of its national chairman to North Central, effectively edging out contestants from other zones. According to the release, some of the contestants that will be affected by the formula are a former governor of Borno State, Northeast, Senator Alimod Sharif, and a former governor of Zamfara State, Northwest, Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari. The Senate today rejected a bill by President Muhammadu Buhari seeking the amendment of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. Section 84, subsection 12 prevents political office holders from contesting for election from the party primary level without resigning. The bill has scaled the first reading despite a court order barring the Senate from acting on it. The request was rejected after Senator Yahya Abdullahi made the lead debate for the second reading of the bill today. The senators kicked against it and voted no when put to voice vote by the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan. The Governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. Dave Umahi, and his deputy, Dr. Eric Kelechi Igwe, today appealed the Federal High Court judgment that sacked them from office. Umahi and his deputy were yesterday sacked on the grounds of their defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Appealing the decision before the Court of Appeal in Abuja, Umahi and his deputy stated that the Federal High Court erred when it said it had not seen any authority which propounds that where governor or deputy governor defect on which platform he was elected into office, it cannot be sued by that political party to reclaim its mandate. The appellant said the trial court virtually set aside the Supreme Court of Nigeria's decision in Heiji Federation versus Atiku Abubakar and three others in 2007 to the effect that there are no constitutional provisions prohibiting president or vice and invariably the governor or deputy governor from defecting to another political party. A federal high court in Abuja has fixed the 23rd of this month to hear an application by the federal government seeking for the suspended DCP Abakari's extradition to the United States. Recall that the federal government, through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, filed the application. The suit, titled Application for the Extradition of Abakari to the United States of America, was dated and filed 2nd of this month. While the AGF is the applicant, Kari is the respondent in the application. Kari was formerly the head of the Inspector General of Police Special Intelligence Response Team, IRT. The police command in Kaduna State says its operatives have arrested 200 suspected bandits and 20 armed robbery suspects between January and March. The command's public relations officer, ASP Mohammed Jalige, announced this during a news briefing at the command's headquarters today in Kaduna. ASP Jalige also disclosed that the command recovered 18 AK-47 rifles, 2,000 live ammunition of different caliber, 11 pump action guns, 10 locally fabricated pistols, 140 shotguns, 12 gauge cartridges, 7 motor vehicles of different brand, and 9 motorcycles. He explained that the command is seeking a robust police-public partnership in the continuous fight against criminal elements, as the quest of securing the society is everybody's business. He revealed that the command during the period under review is not unmindful of the security challenges bedeviling the state, amongst which are banditry, kidnappings, armed robbery, and farmers' elders clashes, among others. Titilayo, the elder sister of Ms. Oluwabamse Anyanwola, who went missing after boarding a bus rapid transit and was later found dead, has narrated how a divisional police officer allegedly paid less attention to the alarm raised when Bamse was initially missing. Titilayo, who spoke on behalf of the family at the press conference, also regretted that her family members were not allowed into the premises of the BRT office at Ilupeju until they protested. Reports have it that Oluwabamse, who closed from work around 7 p.m. on February 26, was on her way to visit her brother, Pelumi, when she boarded the BRT vehicle around Chevron bus stop in the Lekki area of the state. The busman, Ominikoran Nice, was said to be conveying the victim to her destination in Oshode when Oluwabamse observed that he refused to pick other passengers on the road. At least one person has been confirmed dead and 6 others, including a 9-month-old baby, sustained injuries following a clash between operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and hoodlums in the ATC area of Jalingo, the Taraba State capital. Spokesman for the Taraba State Police Command, ASP Usman Abdullahi, who confirmed the incident, said the injured are receiving treatment at the Federal Medical Center in Jalingo. The incident, according to Abdullahi, happened when men of the NDLA, acting on intelligence, raided an area known as a haven for dealers of illicit drugs and were resisted by the hoodlums, who attacked them with stones and attempted to disarm them. According to report, sensing that their lives were in danger, the NDLA personnel acted on self-defense, leading to the death of one person, while 6 others sustained injuries. In sport, the Federation of International Basketball Association has recognized the Amadou Kida-led executive as the duly elected national executive of the Nigeria Basketball Association. Adeyemi Abodere has more on Sport Update.
The World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA, has listed a Moroccan center referee for the upcoming World Cup qualifier between Nigeria and Ghana. The first leg fixture at the Cape Coast Stadium in Ghana will be handled by Rodon Jiyed from Morocco on the 25th of this month. The second leg fixture in Abuja will be handled by a Tunisian referee, Sadiq Al-Sami, on the 29th of this month. Meanwhile, Super Eagles striker Odion Ighalo was at his best yet again on Tuesday, scoring the winning goal for Al Hilal against leader Al Ittihad in the Saudi Arabian League. The Nigerian forward is growing into an unstoppable force in the Saudi Top Flight League as he netted his 4th league goal for the Asian champions. Odion Ighalo smashed home a second-half winner to steer Al Hilal to a 2-1 win over league leaders Al Ittihad at the Prince Faisal bin Fahad Stadium in Riyadh in a Saudi Arabian Pro League contest. In the meantime, the interim manager of the Super Eagles, Austin Eguavon, has provided an update on the Watford defender William Kroos-Ekong's injury after he was included in the Super Eagles squad for the games against Ghana. The centre-back has not played a minute of football for Watford since returning from the African Cup of Nations. His absence was due to a muscle strain rather than the manager's team selection. Eguavon said that they were not panicking about the injury and that they expected him to be fit again in time for their World Cup playoff against Ghana. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has registered the appeals filed by the Football Union of Russia against the decisions taken by FIFA Council and the UEFA to suspend all Russia teams and clubs from participation in their respective competitions until further notice. In his appeals, Russia requested CAS to set aside the decisions and to reinstate all Russian teams and clubs from participating in FIFA and UEFA competitions. Russia has also filed a request to stay the execution of these decisions. Meanwhile, UEFA is to expand the European Championship to 32 teams following discussions with member nations. In a move that has left the Professional Footballers Association seeking urgent talks, European football's governing body to extend format of 24/8 in time for the 2028 version, which is said to be heard in the UK and Ireland. UEFA previously shifted from 16 to 24 teams in 2016, but now want no fewer than 32 of its 55 member nations involved before the end of the decade. The Federation of International Basketball Association, FIBA, has confirmed Amadou Misakida as the duly elected president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation in an elective congress held on January 31st in Benin City, Edo State. FIBA, in a letter dated March 7, 2022 and jointly signed by its president, Amani Nhang, and Secretary General Andreas Zelensky, affirmed that the NBBF election held in Benin City met its standard and as such upheld the election. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abodemi.
To end the news across the country, hurricane are the highlights. Governor of the state of Osun, Mr. Adiboye Gawitola, said to undertake a thank you tour of the 9 federal constituencies of the state. The Senate today rejected a bill by President Muhammadu Buhari seeking the amendment of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. At least one person has been confirmed dead and 6 others, including a 9-month-old baby, sustained injuries following a clash between operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and hoodlums in the ATC area of Jalingo, the Taraba state capital. The police command in Kaduna State says its operatives have arrested 200 suspected bandits and 20 armed robbery suspects between January and March. That was the news across the country, edited by Nathaniel Oyegoke and delivered by Samuel Babawale. For more stories, you can visit our website OSBCNG.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
You were live. You were live. On Osun Radio.
Community radio at its best.
104.5 FM.
People want to do things. Big things. We go change their life. Big things. Getty don't build house. Big things. Ibrahim don't buy range. Big things. Bolale boyfriend finally propose. Bolale don't marry you. We don't say you want to do more things. Then another business you want start. I see you